But you guys have a seat. I'll tell you one of the coolest stories that are attached somewhat to the house. This one is taken in the parlor in the window on the front of the house. And this one was taken in the master bedroom in that window over there.
Oh wow.
Now, you guys know the different, the different hauntings. You have your residual and you have your intelligent.
Yep.
So, I believe that one you're picking up there is residual.
Yeah.
The reason why is, now we know Isabel is here as an intelligent spirit, but that doesn't mean she can't be here as a residual as well. So if you look at that picture, she looks pregnant.
She does.
Yes. Now, the thing is, the reason I think that would be residual is she was pregnant with the sixth child when Charles died. So her looking out the window, hearing that her husband died, she's in that despondent state, and she does look depressed in that picture. That would make sense, and that would imprint in that place and time. So now, this story, what the story involves here, is Grace Sherwood, who was the Witch of Pungo. Now, when I first came here in '99, that's all I knew her as was the Witch of Pungo. That's how most people know her. They don't know her real name, Grace Sherwood. Witch of Pungo has so many stories about her, it's ridiculous. And they're just outlandish, honestly. Luckily, Belinda, of course, they had all the documentation and the newspaper articles and everything like that at Old Donation. She was able to actually put the story together. Pungo is here. This is the Pungo area of Virginia Beach. Just to give you an idea. This is Princess Anne County, which means this is Virginia Beach. You can drive for one direction in an hour and still be in Virginia Beach. It's huge.
Yeah.
There's still a whole lot of rural spots in Virginia Beach as well. So actually, we're here. So now, remember I told you how our rivers aren't straight and everything? This is the Lynn Haven River. So you can see how hard it would have been for the farmers to get around all that.
Yeah.
And there's the mouth of it. That's where the Lesnar Bridge is that I was talking about. The Cape Henry Lighthouse is actually right here. In the painting, they put it over here. But that's actually right at the corner of the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic. So the Atlantic and the Chesapeake Bay meet right here.
Cool.
Yeah. Which is why we're in a strategic spot. They put this house here on purpose. Because the hurricanes don't come around that corner into the bay. So you're not going to get that swell coming in. We don't flood here like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty smart of them even back then to think like that.
I like that.
Yep. But so like I said, she's here. We're here. Old Donation Church is right here, and that's where she went to church. That's a half-hour drive.
Good.
Half-hour drive for us.
Yeah.
Imagine back then when she was born in 1660. Yeah. So she was born in 1660 on her father's strawberry farm in Pungo, which isn't a big surprise. Strawberries are huge in Pungo. Every May we have the Pungo Strawberry Festival. It's a big thing, really awesome. But he also built their house with his own two hands. He was a carpenter. But she was the only child and he needed help on the farm. So he taught his daughter how to work the land, which is something you didn't teach girls how to do. He also taught his daughter how to swim, which is something most men didn't know how to do, much less a woman. Women can't do things men can't do, right? Tripping sarcasm. I know, I've gotten looks during that one, and you're like, okay, chill. Oh, I gave this story to the Daughters of the American Revolution. Every time any remotely sexist comment came out of my mouth, I'm like, okay, I'm joking, ladies. Gotta think about the times there. I'm kind of going in that mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
But she was outside all the time, and she starts learning about the world around her. She's learning about nature. She's understanding things. She knows if you go outside and you see the leaves curl up on a tree, it's about the rain. Because those leaves want to catch as much of that water as possible. It knows when the humidity's coming. It knows when that rain's coming. So she was learning that stuff. She's learning herbology. She figured out we can take these roots, we can take these bark, we can take these herbs, and we can make stuff smell better. We can clean stuff with them. We can heal with them. There was actually a bark that was used back then to rid the head of evil spirits. Headaches.
Oh wow.
Right? Headaches. That bark is now used in aspirin.
Wow.
We still use it to this day.
That's all right.
It's pretty crazy, right? So remember, you take that aspirin, witchcraft. But yeah, so she was doing all this, she was learning all this stuff, and she was seen as weird because she knew too much. But everybody went to her. You never told your friends you did, but you went to her.
Yeah.
You know, you go into town, you're looking deathly ill. People, their friends are like, go home and rest. We'll pray for you. And then, you know, you don't go home. You go straight to grace. Couple days later, you come down and back into town. You're looking all good.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you look so great. Yes, I know. God loves me. You know, you just didn't tell anybody you were going to grace.
Yeah.
So this was going on, and her father passed away. Grace actually marries a man named James, who was the boy next door. He had land too, so their land combined was 200 acres of fertile strawberry land. You know, which was great. They worked the land together, and then they had 3 sons, and their sons worked the land with them. Not 1701. She didn't marry him in 1701. It was earlier than that. James passed away in 1701. Before that, though, things started to change. There was a lady named Elizabeth Hill who was having some problems. Things were happening in her life. So she needed someone to blame. Her cow stopped giving milk. Actually, she sued Grace 3 times. The first time was her cow stopped giving milk. She never won any of these cases. Second time, her crops were dying. So Grace must have done something to them, right? The third time is my favorite. The night before Mrs. Hill miscarried, Grace snuck into her room through her keyhole, hovered over her bed, turned into a black cat, and jumped out of the window. My thing is, why didn't she just come in through the window? But why through the keyhole?
Yeah, why are you gonna come in through the key and out the window?
So, but and at the same time, James is countersuing for defamation. You know, for slander basically. He wasn't winning either. Nobody's winning these cases. Well, James passes away, like I said, in 1701. Grace is now 41 years old, and still a very striking woman, very good looking. They said the court documents said fair of fit and form, or fit of fair and form, face and form. In other words, she was pretty and she was in good shape. Now, you didn't know she was what kind of shape she was really in, because back then, you had to wear those big billowing skirts. You couldn't really show your figure because it was indecent. Only your husband can know what's underneath there. Well, the problem became, now James is dead and she's out there in the fields, and these skirts are uncomfortable out here, so she started wearing James's pants. Scandal. Indecency. She's only doing it in the field. It's not like she's walking into town in them. But now, husband and wife maybe go past the property. The wife looks out there, sees Grace in her pants, scowling at her. The husband looks out there, maybe he looks a little too long. As soon as they get into town, that wife's going to run to her friends, right? Oh, I don't like that Grace. I don't like her either. Yeah. And then they started to put things together.
Yeah.
Not together, but, together, but in their heads. She knows an awful lot about me. Because we all go to her for our with our problems. So they go. They try to. They want her gone. So they decide to say she's a witch because she knows too much. She knows all these things she shouldn't know. Grace, or they took her to Williamsburg, where Governor Spotswood was, and he's like, "We've never had a convicted witch in the state of Virginia." Now, this colonial times, state of Virginia was Virginia, Ohio, and West Virginia. All of that was Virginia. Massive.
Yeah.
Never had a convicted witch. And this is 12 years after Salem, and it's now illegal to kill someone for witchcraft. You can no longer hang them, and you can't stone them. We never burned witches in America. It never happened. But you cannot hang them or stone them.
Yep.
So he says, you guys are going to have to figure this out. I don't want anything to do with this. So they come back, and they put her in a room in the second Princess Anne County Courthouse, which was over by the church. With 12 women who strip her down, looking for moles and birthmarks, things only witches have. Right. And they also sent a court clerk to her house looking for one of these. Go ahead. That's a witch's ball.
Oh, wow.
Witch's balls have been used since the early 1600s in England. Every good Christian had one in their home. And they would stop evil spells from entering your home, and evil spirits would get mesmerized by the crackle glass and get tangled up on the branches on the inside. Logic. Cool. Yeah, oh, these are great. Actually, this is the least colorful one we have. We sell them in our gift shop. They're pretty. The guys who make them, they make them in the Carpathian Mountains in Romania. Gorgeous. They're just amazing stuff they got in there. You guys watch Mysteries of the Museum on History Channel?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
Okay, Belinda was on the show telling the story of the witch ball.
Wow.
Yep. Yep, that's her on the show.
if I've seen that one or not.
Actually, here, I'll give you guys this, because this will show you what episode it's on.
Okay.
But yeah, so she didn't have a witch ball because she didn't believe in that crap. Well, who wouldn't have a witch ball?
Yeah.
The witch. That was her solid evidence.
Oh.
The fact that she did not have one. Right?
Yeah.
Crazy. So, they go back to Governor Spots where they're like, we have enough grounds to convict her, but what do? We can't kill her. He's like, well, you can continue her trial, and you can give her a trial by water, a witch ducking. So a witch ducking, the way it was supposed to work was they would build a big wooden chair, as a ducking chair, tie the woman to the chair, and throw her in the water. If the pure water of God accepts her body and she drowns, then she's okay and can be buried on church property. So if she dies, she's innocent. If the pure water of God expels her body and she comes to the surface, she is evil and must be dealt with or run for office. So,
Yeah.
I throw that in there.
I like that.
Yeah. So they didn't actually build a ducking chair because the men did. Either the men were being lazy or they really liked Grace. But they took her out in our ferry boat. This was front page news now. Like I said, this never happened in our state. Belinda found this in newspapers in 9 different languages.
Good. Oh.
Yeah, huge story. Thousands of people lined the Lynnhaven River to watch this woman die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
big
crazy.
time. So they take her out there. They're rowing out there July 10th, 1706.
6.
She is 46 years old. Beautiful July day. They're rowing out there and she tells them, I be not a witch, but today you will receive a worse ducking than I. And they're like, ooh. Because they knew they were full of crap. They knew she wasn't a witch. So they tie her thumbs and ankles, or thumbs and wrists, her toes and ankles. And because they knew they were full of crap and wanted to feel better about themselves, put a 13-pound Bible around her neck.
Wow.
Throw her in the water.
Good Lord.
But they screwed up. This is a farm girl. She got herself untied, took that Bible off, came to the surface, swam around the boat, and laughed at them. Now they're flipping out. They're yelling from the shore, kill the witch! They can't, though, because it's illegal.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do, so they pull her back in the boat. They start rowing back in. Now, like I said, this is July 10th. Virginia, or southeastern Virginia at least, and a beautiful day in the summer, out of nowhere, the skies open up, and Norfolk floods in about 10 minutes.
Oh,
Good.
That's what happened. Skies opened up, storms, lightning's crashing, people are running for cover, carriages are being washed in the farm ditches. They're really flipping out now because she made it rain.
Yeah.
She told them, you're going to receive a worse ducking than I. She knew it was going to rain. She knew they didn't know.
Yeah.
But hey, she might die. Might as well get that last dig in, right?
Yeah.
So they bring her back, and now they really don't know what to do. So Governor Spotswood says, this is a blight on our state. We all look like sinners now. We're going to forget about Grace Sherwood. There was a cell by the church, by the courthouse over there. 4 walls and a dirt floor. That's where we're going to leave her. No sentence. No provisions.
Gracious.
We are going to forget about Grace Sherwood.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, if you ask the locals at the time how she survived in there for the next 7 years and 7 months, they weren't feeding her, weren't clothing her. 7 years and 7 months she was in there. But if you ask the locals, they tell you every night Satan came to her.
Oh my God.
And he let her out, and they went to the woods and did Satan-y things. The stories were crazy. They were.
Yeah.
Truth was, you don't know what you have until it's gone, right?
Yeah.
So you're sitting at home one day, just doing your thing, and then, oh man, I'm coming down with a cold. Oh, I'm not feeling well at all. What did I do to fix this before? Oh, that's right, I went to Grace. So in the dark of night, you slip your cloak on, you sneak out to her and give her what she needs, and she gives you what you need. For 7 years and 7 months this went on. Now, because of that, all people are seeing are these dark shadows going to Grace's cell. So, of course, the stories were running rampant. Also, she had 3 sons. You know they were sneaking stuff to Mama.
Yeah.
You know it.
Definitely.
So after this time, Governor Spotswood comes in and says, Grace, go home. You're embarrassing me. I wanted to forget about you, and you're all I've heard about for the last 7.5 years. Go home. She said, okay, but I want my land back. Sure. You can pay the last 7.5 years of back taxes, you can have your land back. Well, those 3 boys were living with grandma and grandpa who were feeding and clothing them, but they were doing the only thing they knew how to do, and that was work mama's land. So they had a nice stack of money waiting for her. She takes some of it to the governor. Here you go, here's my taxes. Great. Now I need 80 acres for a court cost. You know, because the state's got to get theirs.
Yeah.
And they did. Well, that was fine, though, because she went back to 120 acres of her land. And with that contract, we believe, we're still trying to do the research on it, but from what we've seen so far, because of that, because he goes, yeah, we're going to take 80 acres of your land, and because it was in that documentation that she now owned 120 acres of land, she may very well be the first female landowner in America.
Wow.
Documented landowner.
Yeah.
So she went back and she worked her property with her boys until she passed away in 1740 at 80 years old. In a time when life expectancy was 37. The house was there for quite some time. I actually went and saw it when I was in the Navy. Me and some buddies went to go see it, which was hilarious. It was like this house was when it was abandoned. It was the place where the teenagers went to, see how much they could smoke or drink before they saw the witch,
Yeah.
And my buddies were like, oh, we gotta check this place out. I'm like, all right, we're not going into the house. Not because I'm scared or anything, but we have careers right now, guys. I'm not trying to get arrested because that means court-martial. I was like, but we'll go check the place out, So we get there and, my buddy's like, do you see the red eyes in the window? That was amazing. There's red eyes. I was like, no, I saw the reflection of the taillights going down the street. Quit jumping to conclusions, guys.
Yeah.
In 2003, the house mysteriously burnt down because that's the only way to get rid of a historical home. The city was tired of the people breaking in and all this stuff, and then, mysterious fire. Only thing that was left was the chimneys and some foundation. So that was still a landmark. So the kids are still going out there, this is where the witch lived, So they're like, we gotta get rid of these chimneys. They can fall on someone. They're so fragile. They can fall on someone any minute. You know how old those things are? Those old and fragile chimneys took 3 bulldozers to take down.
Cool.
They made stuff to last.
Yeah.
That house was there from the 1650s until 2003.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So, it was crazy. And then Belinda, was reading about all this and the documentation she had, and she goes, so you can't try someone by water? This isn't justice. This is wrong. This woman's had her name dragged through the mud for 300 years. So she's like, I gotta do something about this. So she starts writing the governor every month. Well, new governor comes in. She's writing this one every week. She's Shawshanking him. She wanted her library. Governor Tim Kaine comes in and she says, sir, you're going to hear from me in one way or another every day. I'm going to bother the crap out of you to get this done. It's been almost 20 years at this point that she's been trying to get this done. He says, fine, Belinda, I'll partner. She goes, great, but I want full exoneration. And so it's crazy because the fact that Tim Kaine was the one to say yes, the timing worked out perfectly. Because Tim Kaine was able to sign the exoneration of Grace Sherwood July 10th, 2006, 300 years to the day, hour, and minute of her conviction.
Oh, wow.
Crazy, right? He likes to run around up here. He likes to run around and play outside, too. Running around through the crabapple trees. He's out there all the time. He's in here, he's up in the nursery, which we'll go up to. I don't know what kind of condition it's in.
What was his name, Eric?
Eric. Yeah.
Cool.
And actually, this gingerbread house, Belinda baked in 1996.
Oh, yeah?
And, we just moved it from the hall into here. It still smells like gingerbread. So, I was like, they screwed up and didn't do enough condensation drain.
Yeah.
So we had some damage. We got to do some more stuff up here. And obviously we're setting up for Easter and everything. You can smell the water damage. But yeah, this was the nursery, and that was the nanny's room. So upwards of even 20 kids in here at one point. Yeah, it was actually deeper. That closet wasn't there. The closet was built later. You guys feel that? What's going on here, guys? Something's happening. Back in the day, you were taxed per room. And if you could stand in it, it was a room. So they didn't have closets. They had wardrobes and armoires. which is why the closets weren't built. I mean, you can see how the closet was put in, that wall was put in there. Yeah. Yeah. What are you guys doing? Well, lightheaded. Now, I'll tell you what's funny here, our first time investigating, which is why I like that you guys are coming here to check the house out. And I did. And I just did, there's something that I didn't notice at first. So, we're setting up cameras, and we set up a ball in the middle of the room, you know, for the kids to play with. So I'm right here setting up a tripod. And one of my investigators was in the neighbor's room. I'm like, James, you gotta come in here right now, dude. Craziest cold spot. My entire right side is freezing cold. Come here now. I'm not moving. He runs in here and he goes, dude, you're under the vent. That's why you always gotta know your surroundings.
Right.
Debunk first. Yeah, like I said, that's Nanny's room. Now we've gotten great EVPs in here. Nanny does not mess around. She is a mammy. We have gotten
What's going on?
oh yeah.
Me too. Was just going on.
Oh yeah, here you go. When we've actually got an EVP. When I don't want nobody in my room, I don't want nobody in my room. We got come on, child, take your medicine.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
We have a thing called a CCB that I actually, it's actually made from a toy that my kids got for Christmas, and it teaches kids how to build circuit boards safely.
Oh yes.
It's called snap circuits.
Yep.
So I saw there was one where you can plug an MP3 player into it, and it'll change the color of a light that you build it together. You know. So I was like, I wonder if I could plug a mic into this, and it worked the same way. So I did, and the mic worked. You know. So I talked to the mic, and it would change color. So I'm like, sweet, I could use this. And we brought it in the house, and it would change colors without even plugging anything into it.
Oh, wow.
So we set it in the middle of this bed. It's actually on our YouTube video. We sit in the middle of the bed, and we're asking questions, and we're like, Angie, if you want us to leave, change the color. She turned it red, and it turned it off.
Wow.
And we're like, okay, we'll go.
Yeah.
You know, because when you make a promise, you got to keep it. And you know,
Yeah.
there are people too. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
You know, if you want stuff later on, you know, you gotta take care of it that way. I don't know where, because like I said, with all the movement and everything going around here, I don't know where the picture is of her. Because she actually there it is. She actually raised Elizabeth Walk, and when Elizabeth Walk left to have her family of her own, she took her with her. And to show how much she meant to her. How often do you see a slave with a front seat in the family picture?
Exactly.
Not that I've known.
Exactly. It's crazy, isn't it? That's how much she meant to her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
That is awesome.
It is.
It is a crazy place, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's nuts. It's, you know, and that's the thing is it was like, we did 2 nights here, and after the second night, I'm like, how do I stay?
Oh yeah.
How do I stick around here and help you guys out?
That is cool.
And I've been here ever since. I mean, I'm on the board of directors. You know, I take care of all paranormal and all special events here.
Yeah.
I'm actually the second youngest, well, not anymore. Up until this last December, I was the second youngest person on the board. And the first youngest was my best friend.
It's like,
Turn the light on
keep
back here.
down. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I said, they came down with me.
Yep. Well, they'll do that. Sometimes they just want to be rambunctious and crazy. They do that too.
I don't blame them. I'd be curious too. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're you know, we've been doing, like I said, we've had, you know, tens of thousands of people here in the last 23 years, 22 years. You know, it's kind of, you know, it's fun.
oh,
Make sure I do this. I didn't turn anything on here, did I?
Back from the dead.